You know, I really, really should actually organise these things in advance. It'd be a lot easier. I don't do things the easy way. I'm not one for doing things easily. I don't know. Make things difficult as possible. How's that? Hello, people who've just joined. Um, hey, hidden within myself. So, what's your first name again? Hi, Susie. Hi, Tinker's wife. Again, what's your first name as well? I'm useless at these things. I'm so useless at names. Hi, April. Oh, Michelle. Okay. So we have Michelle. Hi, Kanga. So it's 1:30, 20 to 2 in the morning. Hey, Bayou Homestead. If your first name isn't on your thing, let me know, please. Yeah, we're up to 3 goslings. So excited. Um, so yeah, there was one this morning. Patty, mine's Cheryl. I'm useless. I will forget, and I'm really sorry. It's the way my brain works. It's not very well at the minute. Um, yes, we had one gosling this morning. Caleb. I said your name about 10 times the other day. I'm sorry, I still forget. Um, yeah, and then this evening, the goose stood up again, and there were 3. So they all look quite big, actually. They are really quite big. They're quite chunky, which is good. I like that. So yeah, they've done really, really well. Parents, so happy. So yeah, my live video that I did this morning. Make a list. That involved getting up off the settee and getting paper and writing them down, and then remembering where I put it. Whereas, bearing in mind, I can't even remember where I put my wallet. It's not going to work. I will try that. I promise. um, yeah, the video I did this morning with one of the with just the first gosling born. First comment I got on that video was somebody telling me to leave the poor goose alone. I don't know about you guys, but my entire life I've been told you always, every day, at least once a day, check over every one of your animals. And if you have new babies, they need to be checked over. Um, there's a lady I know a few times now. I don't know what she does, but she posts on. Hi Sharon, Caleb. This goose is getting quite nasty in a good way. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I was always taught at least once a day every animal should be checked over, and any new animals need to be checked over. Any babies need to be checked over as soon as possible. Maybe it's just because I've been, dealing with horses all my life. I don't know. But there's this lady who keeps posting on this local Facebook page. I won't say which one, and she breeds. She keeps breeding chickens, ducks, that sort of thing, and she keeps posting pictures of like these little ducklings and things that are not going to live, and they're going to be in pain because of whatever's wrong with them. And it absolutely breaks my heart. And there are so many people that just say to her, please, will you put that animal out of its misery? And then to get the first comment when I was checking Spook over earlier, I was trying to check the gosling. Yeah, exactly, Caleb. The animals always come first. To be wanting to check the gosling, and I just brought you guys along with it because, well, firstly, I needed to get her food out of the way. I thought you'd want to see, if I get to see the gosling properly, then you'd see it too. And yeah, the first comment on that video, some woman telling me to leave the poor goose alone. No, I'm not going to leave the poor goose alone. Sorry. After the baby has been checked, then I'll leave the goose alone. As it happened, as you know, those of you who saw the video, I didn't get to check the gosling at that point. Went back later, and she actually stood up quite willingly and without us even having to go into the shed. And she stood up, and it was just like she said, "Oh, you just want to look at them." So she stood up. We saw the 3 that were there. We saw them move. They look healthy. There's no intestines sticking out like this woman I was talking about. It's one of the most popular things that she seems to get with hers. Maybe she inbreeds. I don't know. But a lot of them, the intestines are actually outside. And, she said, oh, I think it might heal up. No, it's not going to heal up. And sorry, I would rather hassle the mother, find a gosling like that, and put it out of its misery quickly. Hi, Smith Family Ranch. Rather than leave the poor mother alone. To me, that's wrong. Sorry, there's nothing wrong with the mother. She's angry. Absolutely. She doesn't want me there. Absolutely. But to me, when you own animals, you have to make the difficult decisions. You have to do the difficult things. You can't just leave your animals. There's a woman on another Facebook group. If I lived anywhere near her, I'd have driven over there and probably grabbed hold of her and shook her around a bit, and then grabbed hold of her baby horse that's just been born, and it's 2 days old. Oh, I think it's a boy. You think it's a boy? Why have you not got hold of it? Sprayed the umbilical cord, because that's the biggest cause of infection in young horses, and that's the biggest cause of death in young horses. You can't even, you don't even know if your baby horse has a penis or not at 48 hours old, and we're supposed to all sit there and go, oh, you're such a good mum. No, you're not. Sorry, you're not. That woman. Hi, getting started on homesteading. Yeah, I don't know. I know I'm a DEFRA certified AI technician and artificial insemination person, horsey midwife. I've got years of experience. I've bred loads of horses and ponies myself. I can't stand it when people think that it's better just to leave a baby animal and you not know if there's something wrong with it. It's wrong to me. Every animal on this farm gets checked every day. I can't imagine having a baby born here on the farm and not knowing about it for days or weeks. Well, thank you, Sharon. Yeah, it's oh hi. Yeah, exactly, to me that's neglect. And I'm sorry if it annoys people seeing me sitting there with a board of wood, so I don't get pecked, and I'm not pushing mum with it. I'm not hitting mum with it. It was just a piece of wood. Yeah, exactly, the tinkerer's wife. I wasn't hurting mum. I was doing nothing. She was hissing at me. She's healthy. I changed her food because she'd eaten. You saw the black sunflower seeds. She's not so keen on them. Once they're sprouted, those ones weren't. But once they're sprouted, she loves them. Didn't have any sprouted, so that's why she had the dry ones. That's why she didn't eat them. But the fact that I know that about a goose, she's not my only goose. Somebody just asked how many animals I've got on the farm. Probably better not count, really. Let me see. Uh, well, that's different, Caleb. You know, if they're free ranging, then fine. I mean, we're about to get some Soay sheep, and those sheep pretty much are they're like wild sheep. As even the society for them. Hi, Karen. Even the Soay Sheep Society says they're more like deer than sheep. You know, they're going to be out there on the hill, up that way, way, way over there. Um, thanks, fishes and loaves. It's a comment on my live video from this morning, saying I got a surprise. Um, you know, the Soay sheep, absolutely. The grass and all the vegetation is taller than most of those sheep will be. They've got like big areas of stones that they're going to hide in. They live wild, and that we're getting them for the purpose of they can live wild up there. Now, if they have lambs and I don't see them for a few days, a few weeks, whatever, that's essentially living wild. That's fine. That's different. But when I've got an animal who's in a shed, which is literally outside this window here, and it's an animal that can't live like that, can't live wild, can't do all that sort of stuff, I am damn well going to check it every day because that is basic animal husbandry. Um, I mean, our three little lemon roosters and the grey one with the deformed beak and everything, they essentially live wild. They don't go in at night. Absolutely, Caleb. I love that. Um, it's also things like Highland cows. A lot of people don't know they're coos. They call it Highland cows are called Highland coos around here. That's the Highland word for them is coo, not cow. Um, so Highland coos, they specifically hide their calves when born. They're the only breed that I know that does this, and you can wait 2 weeks before you find that calf because that's the nature of um, the animal. That's the nature of the Highland coos. It's how they've been over the years, and you know you can bring them in. You can have them given birth in a shed. You can have them given birth in a little paddock next to your house. Which, to be honest, if I had some, I would probably do that because I would want to see the babies to make sure they're okay. But if they were out on the hill, which we may get some, and have them live out on the hill with the Soay sheep, and when that happens, we may not see babies for up to 2 weeks after they're born. But you know, it's just different animals, different situations. But when I've got when the geese, hi Mary Beth, when the geese are right outside my window here, right next to my house, I have purposefully built them, you know, given them a separate shed and done everything and encouraged the breeding and done everything I can to encourage the hatching. You're damn right I'm going to go and check the babies to make sure that they're okay when they're born. I wasn't hurting mum. You know, I wasn't hurting mum. I wasn't hitting her. I wasn't dragging her. I wasn't pinning her down. I wasn't even touching her. You know, the piece of wood was up against her belly just to try and see if she'd lift it out of the way, which she wouldn't do. And that's fine. That's her decision. I wasn't going to force it. I was encouraging it, but I wasn't forcing it. So, yeah. Anyway, there you go. Rant over. But yeah, well, that's the thing. When if the animals live wild, that's just different. It's differently. And Fat Mama threw half a mile of thicket and thought that's really funny. I was laughing. Sorry, that's what I was laughing at earlier. Just catching up. As you see, that sounds like a lovely place for the goat to have actually given birth in an old house. And they're free range. That's a perfect life. That's a really, really nice life for them. Still in bed, Mary Beth? Can we send you over some chicken soup? That help? Some of you have asked about seeing my weaving projects. This is one of the first things I ever wove. I've actually, it's a pillow cover. I've actually turned it inside out because it's a few years old. Yeah, if that goose was really upset at me being, I mean, she wasn't happy, but if she wanted to go for me, there'd have been nothing that piece of wood would have done. Anyway, right, let's I've turned it inside out because it's been the other way around for a few years now, and it's been through the washing machine. You don't generally wash hand woven stuff in a washing machine, but I did. Anyway, so these should be on the outside, but they're actually on the inside. If you turn it the other way, you can see less of the white. Actually, you can see quite a bit of it. But yeah, this is probably actually this was the second thing I ever wove, and it was just a big long piece, and I didn't really know what to do with it, and I shoved a pillow in it, and it's lovely. It's really, really nice. I've only just put it back on a pillow today. It's not been on there for a few months. Excuse me. Oh, I'm tired. You don't need to see me yawn. Oh, goats don't respect fencing. That'd be silly. You've got your garden fenced off, and garden fenced off the rest of the animals. There's some chickens in there. Oh, to eat potato bugs. I've no idea what potato bugs are, but they sound interesting. They sound like they eat potatoes. Oh, I've just remembered I planted some potatoes a few weeks ago and completely forgot about them. My goats at the moment, they're not destroying my fence. They're just climbing through it and over it. Yeah, so there you go. That's one of my weaving things. Chain link. I was about to say mine go over things that they can't go through. Oh, I'll have to have a look at Smith Family. I'm not sure if I'm actually on your Instagram. I'm going to have to go and have a look. Let me screenshot. Excuse my hand. Sorry, I screenshot things, and then later when I go through my photos, I go, oh, I remember that's what I was going to do. Look at the bunny and chicken, grab a bite to eat. I've been trying to do some sewing tonight. I wanted to do a little bit of embroidery, something that I'd seen, and I kind of messed that up a bit. But I can't find my proper needles. I think they're in the studio, which is halfway down the farmyard, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Actually, I might just go for a walk there anyway, because I've got to be up all night. Using this, which is beautiful colour. I love this colour. My hair used to be this colour. Actually was. This is bamboo, which is so nice to work with. I've never yet worked with banana fibre, but that's another thing to try. But the needles I have kept just wrecking the thread. Yeah, just like Jazz's colour. My mum actually, I grew up in the town that Jazz lives in, and we probably lived about a mile from each other for years and never met. How crazy is that? And then I moved to Scotland away from, I was living not too far from where Jazz lives for 4 years, and I only moved to Scotland last summer. And hi Heather, and I met Jazz on YouTube, who used to live a mile from me all my life, or all of her life. She's a bit younger than me, lived a mile from me all of her life, and we never met until we came onto YouTube. So I'm hoping to go and see her in a few weeks. So, excuse me, I need a drink. Because I'm up at night, I'm on really, really bad energy drinks. Don't do it, guys. I don't drink tea or coffee. So that's my caffeine fix. But yeah, I'm free range chickens. Free range chickens. Hello. Speaking of free range. Hello. Come on, you two. Free range chickens. If you live where it is okay for free range chickens, then have free range chickens. If it's not okay, do the best you can. I am exceptional. Excuse my bed. Lambs. Pip, Jen. Obi, go away. Pip, Jen. I've come out here to sit with the lambs. Oh, don't you dare, because you're going to pee on my bed, aren't you? Right, let's get these out. I'm a very practical person. Out. Out. Out, 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 out. Out. I'm a very, very practical person. I was actually doing a video the other day. Out. Come on, Pip. Out. Excuse me a moment. Right. I was doing a video just the other day about why the world cannot grow organic food. This week, he was joking every single day. Pippi! Pip! Pip! Jen! Don't you dare! Pip! Hello! Your fans say hello, and they're all going to hit the thumbs up to let you know how much they love you. They are, yeah. Good subtle hint there, isn't it? Hey, Jen. Yeah, free range. If you can do it, great. Here, I'm very, very lucky in that we have, a, oh, what's he called? Gamekeeper. Sorry. Come on, out you go. We have a gamekeeper who, well, 3 of them actually, that look after the neighbouring estate. Stop eating plastic. Get out. So there's one way to get rid of plastic. Sorry, I've got to wash my hand, it smells now. We have a gamekeeper from the neighbouring estate who shoots foxes. So, because they rent out to... Okay, I'm in my bathroom. Every time I go in the bathroom, followed by lambs. I'm just washing my hands, guys. I'm not doing anything else on camera. So yeah, we are very, very lucky that this guy Willie comes up and down the road several nights a week, and if he sees a fox, he'll shoot it. They are the only predators that we have here, and I know that we're exceptionally lucky. Right, Jen. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to shoot the lamb. There we go. Get out of my bathroom. We haven't decorated in here as we moved in, but my hair matches the bathroom. Come on, little Pippi. Hey, little Pip. Come on. Out you go. Hi, well, hello, fans. Hello, fans. There we go. Isn't she looking better? Looking podgy. Gonzo, get out. Okay, I don't need lambs, and I certainly don't need dogs in the bathroom. What? Wants to say hello? Hi, Tribble. Tribble reminds me of Roots and Refuse Kitten George, and we actually had his brother, who was also a spitting image of their kitten Gary. That's a good idea, Karen. I like that. You love what the sheep are in. What? I stopped fussing him. Tribble needs shaving, just like Kitten George. Watch what happens. Tribble's awesome. He's an old lad now. We lost his brother 29th of December. Found out he had cancer, really, really bad. But he'd actually had blood tests 9 days before we lost him. There was no sign of the cancer on the blood tests. Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, the lambs keep me busy. There's Socks, the wild cat that came here. Tribble's eye. Yeah, this is a problem with him being old. Yeah. That one's done. I do it every day. He just gets annoyed with me. But if you look at his toes, you see he's got thumbs. Hi. Tribble has extra toes. And that works. Can't really see it. I'll get you photos at some point of I'll get you photos of his back legs at some point. He's got 7 toes on each of his back legs. Back feet. Yeah, 6 on the front, 7 on the back. One of the fronts actually has 7. Yes, he's polydactyl. He's an old man now. He's got no canine at the top here on this side, that side, which is why his lip sort of sticks up a little bit, you see? Because it sticks on the bottom canine. Whoops! So cute. He's a lovely lad. I'm going to miss him when he goes. You got many years yet, haven't you, darling? Yeah? He's so regal. Whip Pip! What? Persian extra toes looks like an Ewok. I can believe that. No, still a kitten, 11 months old. Here, little Pip. Yeah, she's so much better. They were out today. We're increasing the amount of time that they're out. Oh, I love the name Arabella. Eugene. A friend of mine's got a horse called Eugene. A baby. That's where they lie. They sleep there. Because Jen got too big for the cage. Well, they can fit in the cage together, but it wasn't really sensible. Yes, I know. Look at this day. I've just washed my cover. Tribble actually is really, really clever. We used to teach him stuff. And I say banging radiator. I'll get back to the infection in a moment. Tribble used to throw toy mice. He'd sit in the doorway. We'd throw from one end of the room, well, between 2 rooms. He'd sit in the doorway and he'd reach up in the air and he'd go like this and grab the mouse and then put it in his mouth. And the vet said when he was a kitten, "I'll never have any use of that thumb. It's just there, no use, doesn't work." We found out his does work. Tribble actually has an opposable thumb on each of his front legs. So it doesn't work very well, but he does actually have a tendon attached and it actually works. So unfortunately we'd already had him neutered and then we found that out and then the vet went, "I wish we didn't neuter him. He could have been a race of cats that rules the world." He's certainly clever enough. Yeah, we taught him to do some tricks, but he's 16 now. He's, not really interested in tricks. He's interested in fuss and food, and that's it. Right, the infection. The vet didn't tell me. The vet didn't even tell me he was treating for an infection. He just gave me the drugs and he just said, "Yep, they're seizures. We'll try treating with this." And I looked at it and said, why, this is an antibiotic. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "That's what we use to treat it." And I was thinking, why are we treating, seizures with an antibiotic? And he didn't tell me. He wasn't interested in discussing it with me, and telling me. And I'm one of these really annoying owners where I want to know everything. So, I mean, I could work as a vet nurse. I haven't got the vet nurse qualification. I've got everything else around it. But I could go to school and I could just do a conversion to vet nursing. but yeah, can't be reliable anymore with work because of my fibro. But yeah, he wouldn't discuss it. So anyway, I called a vet friend of mine, who's not actually a farm animal vet. Most of my vet friends are horse animals. You want to know too? Yeah, exactly. And this guy just drives me nuts. Obi, what are you eating? Are you eating the lamb's food again? Yep. I'm eating the lamb's food. The guy's a really good vet. He's just not used to dealing with people like me. I mean, are you coming out? It's raining. Why do you want to come outside? I just wanted a bit of fresh air. That's their next lot that needs washing. Washing machine is on constant at the moment. Washing up after these messy creatures. So, what was I saying? Yeah, where I used to live in Sussex, we had specialist equine vets for the horses, and they were amazing. They are one of the best vet practices in the country, and they have vets from some of the best vets from over Europe. They've poached them, so you know that pretty much makes one of the top vets in Europe. Exactly, but Hopeful Homesteader, sorry I can't remember your name, but sadly a lot of people just don't seem interested up here. But down in Sussex I was used to being told everything and being able to sit down with the vet and have a discussion about things if something was wrong, and they were very willing. Look at that, love my light. They're very willing to just sit and talk about things and bounce ideas off you. And you know, the amount of times I'd had vets say, you've just mentioned something I haven't thought about, let's consider it, let's look into it, let's perhaps do it, you know, and all this sort of stuff. There's my onions. But up here they're just used to saying, right, hope for that, because most people up here aren't insured, and if they aren't insured won't pay thousands to heal something such as Willow's, which of course, I mean, Willow wasn't insured, we paid for that ourselves. You know, so there's that, and then there's people that just aren't interested. Oh, bye Tinker's wife, I'll see you soon. But it's just the way they are up here. It's a bit weird. Oh yeah, sorry, my favourite lettuce. There's a beautiful picture. The what's it called? Thumbnail. A couple of videos back. Whoops. Let me see if I can turn the light on here. The flash. There we go. Right, the thumbnail from one of the videos is that, and it looked beautiful. And then today, it's been mostly eaten, and not by me, because this was lifted up because it broke. So I'm a little bit annoyed, because that was the perfect lettuce, and if I was actually going to take part in the local show next month, that would have been the lettuce I'd have taken along. Some brilliant ones have no personalities, absolutely. I mean, that's also a weird thing. Like, somebody asked on my video earlier, I'd put some white liquid, it's beautiful, white liquid into Pip's food, and out of a syringe, not with a needle on, but out of a syringe. Somebody sent Jazz Alternative Small Hoarding one of these today. She's over the moon. I'm over the moon for her. They make my life so much easier. They're just expensive though. Oh hey, you alright, darling? Stop eating my rose bushes. And what was I saying? I can't remember. Oh well. Yeah, vets. Some of them are just not used to people, especially around here. Hey Tribble. Asking for more information. You know, they're just sort of used to a vet saying, "Ah, something's happened. I'll give you this. Give your horse this," and they go, "Okay." You know, and don't really want to know anymore. White stuff. Pip's feed. See, they share they share the dog and cat's water. It's really funny. Thanks, Sharon. I'm so happy. Yeah, so I just sort of licked the end of the syringe and can't remember what somebody said. What is that you've just put in your mouth? Okay, it's actually yogurt. But that's another thing about different vets. Oh, still got my flash on. That's the other thing about vets and different ideas. Yeah, trouble is this stuff is BioLive yogurt. And if you've got an animal or even yourself taking antibiotics, you should always give them a probiotic or something like this. Hello? Did you just come through the cat flap? God, I hope not. My dogs go through the cat flap. That's more than enough drama. Yeah, so that was what was in the syringe. I just measure it out in a syringe and just squirt it in the top of the bottle because that's easier than putting it on a spoon and trying to tip it in. But yeah, it freaked somebody out. Sorry about that. I don't think the harvested some more radishes today. Yay. I'm not actually a big fan of eating radishes, but we hey, busy little house. We roasted them. So Rose at Wholesome Roots, Jess at Roots and Refuge have all done videos about roasting radishes. If anybody wants a link, let me know and I'll go and find Rose's. But I think Jess actually put a video out only about a week ago about that. Right, you two, I'm going to make up your food, but that's only because I need to clean out this. So actually I roasted radishes and they were lovely. So that's the plan from now on. But most of my radishes are tiny. The tops are massive. So the guinea pigs are happy and the rabbits because they're eating them. Oh, I've got leeks. I could make a leek and sweet potato. Oh, I've only got one sweet potato. Okay, I've got a swede, courgette, a sweet potato, some leeks and some onions. Does that make a pie? Let's see what meat I've got. These would make a pie, wouldn't they? Oh, got diced pork from my friend's pigs. Oh, they're amazing. My friend Jen, little Jen, not so little Jen, lamb is named after. She sent a couple of her pigs. Oh, your tail's finally fell off. That's good. She sent a couple of her pigs off for slaughter a few weeks ago. And hello. And we had some of the meat from it, and it's amazing. Right, the bottom of her tail has finally fallen off. That's not blood, you can see. I have one sweet potato. I could do that. Where is Jen? Right there. But yeah, my friend Jen, who she's named after, because Jen helped us, and she's been a lovely person. So nice. Oh, human Jen. She's about, I think she's only about 12 miles away, but as usual with here, it takes like 25 minutes. Hello. You're right. They're obsessed with that box, because in that box is the powdered milk. So, right, I'm just going to make up their bottles. They're not due yet. Oh, I know. Pip every day goes there. I mean, she's left it now, because I keep telling her and pulling her away. Now, she goes over it, sort of starts to nibble it, and then just walks back off, so I've trained her. So yeah, my friend Jen with these pigs, the pork is amazing. If you have a local person who has grass-fed pork, absolutely to go and buy it. It's amazing stuff. Now we have a lot higher welfare standards for our animals than you guys in America do. And I'm not saying that just to be controversial or anything, it is fact. There's a reason that you are actually not allowed to import American meat into anywhere within the European Union, and that is because your welfare standards are much lower than they are in the European Union. That also includes where I kept getting really confused and really annoyed when, you know, I'd hear people say, oh, cows are given hormones as standard and antibiotic in the feed in order to grow. I'm like, no, we don't. That's just ridiculous. It doesn't happen. Now, a friend of mine is a pig farmer over in America, and I spoke to her, and she said, yeah, it's automatically in the food. If you go and buy the food from the mill, from the shop, whatever, unless you specifically go buy the more expensive food, which she does, or make your own, which is another thing she does. She does part and part. She buys from when she needs to, but the rest is made. Unless you do that, then there is about a 95% chance the meat you're eating in America from the supermarkets has growth hormones and antibiotics. We don't allow that over here. So if they have antibiotics, it must be for a specific reason. Like Pip. Pip had antibiotics, but I have a book somewhere in one of these drawers. If I can find it. Where is it gone? This is it. Get out! Get off! Jen's trying to eat my paperwork. It's not got the main one. But this is my book, just for keeping sheep. And this is the government's rules. And all of this is paperwork, feeding regulations, medical regulations, fire and emergency, ventilation laws, lighting laws, space laws, building laws. Okay, my partner Asher, he's actually a doctor of water engineering, and he's just so appalled at the US water system. It's a joke. I mean, I've got laws here on food and water. We have them using meat from animals have been put to sleep in dog feed. Yeah, Karen. Hi, Fairytale Creations. Lovely to see you again. Hi, Rach. Karen, grass, well, New Zealand lamb. We have New Zealand lamb. It's very, very popular over here. But yeah, aside from that, it doesn't look much, but this is just on keeping sheep. That's just the laws I have to abide by. Oh God, no, don't eat chickens. I've also got a book which is about the same size, which is my health book, and it's also in here. And that has to be kept for 7 years, and if they come along and look in it, and I've not got something in there that my local vet says I've treated this date, this date, this date, and this date, and these drugs, and I've not written it down in that book, I can get put in prison or a £20,000 fine. This is my movements book. Every movement on and off the farm has to be accounted for. What we have over here for the animals, for when something, if an animal is injected, we always have a withdrawal period, which they're not allowed to go to slaughter, and ours are incredibly strict. Let me just grab you these. So these are the regulations. It says on here withdrawal period. For the 2 drugs that Pip has been on, when she started having her seizures. This one, withdrawal period for cattle is 21 days. So, I mean, she had 1 mil. That much. Oh, we'll get to that in a minute, Rach. So 1 mil, that much. Tiny, tiny amount. For any animal, any farm animal in the UK that's had even 1/10 of a mil of this, it cannot go for meat for 21 days. If you are on an organic farm, it doesn't mean you can't use these. It just means that you have to double the withdrawal period. So whilst it's 21 days before an animal is allowed by law to be eaten that's had this, if you are certified organic, then it's 42 days minimum. This one, again, that's another 21-day one. So I've seen them up to 60 days. Right, out you pay, you mean pains in the backside. They say no. Right. Yeah, so we have really strict regulations. And anytime any official from SAMU, as they call it up here, DEFRA as it is in England, or trading standards or animal welfare or anything like that, can at any point in time, day or night, walk onto my farm and demand to see all my paperwork. And if my paperwork is not up to date and cannot be corroborated, I can't even say the word. If the vet's paperwork disagrees with mine, even if it's the vet's error, I will get a fine and could go to prison. And my animals could all be taken off me and shot. And then they won't go into the food system, which mine don't anyway. But, you know, my point is that's what happens, and then they dispose of them, they'll get burnt and all of that. It's awful fairy tale creations, but that is exactly what it is. The mad cow outbreak, CJD, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, or BSE, that's the human CJD. The cow version is BSE, bovine spondylosis, something or other. That was caused by cows being fed the brains of other cows. And if you're going to go into cannibalism like that, you're going to get problems. And there were prions in the brains that was then ingested, and then it was causing the problems. It was absolutely horrendous. I was actually at agricultural college when that was happening. So many of the lads that I went to college with and the girls, the farming lot, so many of them, their dads committed suicide over that. It was horrendous. And the thing is, a lot of the farmers, they just bought their feed from the feed store. They didn't know what was going into the feed. But that's partly why our regulations are now so high. I mean, I remember it was just horrendous, absolutely horrendous. But now we've got some very strict regulations. Hi Chris, we're talking about BSE and CJD and diseases and things in cows and hormones being fed into animals and that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's, and also aside from that, it was just what was fed. So, I mean, that was just horrible. And what they then did is they found out what it was. So now they don't feed cows' brains to other cows. They don't feed animals to other cows anymore in this country, in the United Kingdom. And who are you talking to, Chris? In the European Union, you do not feed animals to animals anymore. It is completely against the law, and we have eradicated BSE in this country because of the really, really strict guidelines. So it should never have happened. But again, it's a learning curve, and the EU went, right, this happened, we're not allowed to do it. Hi, Lola. Thanks, Lola. So yeah, it doesn't happen anymore. It can't. Well, in theory, it can't happen. There was a case in France back January, I think it was, of CJD, where a woman got picked it up, but it can be 10 years between eating the meat and showing signs. And also, aside from that, certainly in this country, cows now can't be slaughtered later in life, and that was the problem. It was accumulation of eating over the years, building up in the brains, the prions, whatever you want to call them, causing the problems, affecting the animals, and then when the animals were older, absolutely, you're right there, fairy tale creations, unfortunately. So it's like here, no cow was allowed to be slaughtered. Yeah, very long incubation. It's something like 3 to 12 years. It's ridiculously long. Yeah, so it's for years here you had to, any cattle would have to be slaughtered for, if they're going for meat, they had to be slaughtered by, I think it was 18 months old. Yeah, that's an awful thing to go by. It's not fun. It wasn't fun looking at the cows and the people. Yeah, so for a very, very long time, any cattle that went for me, had to be slaughtered at a young age. Oh, Chris, I'll see you going live in half an hour. I'll see you there, hopefully. Thanks, Lola. Rage, that's allowed, as long as it is composted properly, but it has to be dealt with in a very, very specific way. When people get in trouble and problems occur from using human waste is when they've literally gone, oh, let's just get this septic tank, we'll empty them, we charge people for emptying them, we stick them in a cow slurry tank because, they're just there, and then they treat it like cow slurry. So a few months later, they'll put it on the fields and go, there we go, I'll fertilise. You can't do that with human waste because we eat animals. And so then you get all sorts of problems. So they get in trouble here, certainly, when it's not been treated properly. But if it's treated properly and it comes out in little pellets, that's fine. There's no health risk whatsoever as long as it's treated properly. But I've heard of a number of farmers, not around here, absolutely fairy tale creations. You should not use anything from animal muck, from anything that eats meat should not be going on there. I mean, saying that, we all use chicken muck, don't we? Chickens will eat anything and everything. But again, you have to let it compost for a year. It's not just, well, when they say it's hot, it's partly to do with that. I know it means it's just high in whatever it was it's high in. My brain's gone at the moment. I think it's was it nitrogen? Brain's gone. But it's also to ensure that anything, and also their digestive tracts are slightly different to ours, but it also ensures that anything that has come out has, is neutral and it doesn't affect you. But yeah, human waste is just, we don't digest things, same as animals. Cows. Oh, thanks, Karen. I'll see you soon. Cows have 4 stomachs. They digest things better than us. Way better than us. Way more efficiently than we do. 1, 2, 3. Got half an hour before they need their feed. That's good. Half an hour. I picked up their bottles. Look at this little hopeful face. A little hopeful face, isn't it? Because I picked up your bottle. Yeah, little hopeful face. I love that little lamb. She's so adorable. I love all lambs, but that one. Yeah, so anyway, my rant over. I think my rants are over for tonight. Yeah, poor Pip got away half an hour. They were out. Hi, Jen. It's not the Jen I was talking about earlier, it's a different Jen. They were out at grass today for the longest they've ever been out. That was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16 and a half hours. They were out at grass 16 and a half hours. Which is amazing for little Pip. She's never been out for that long before. Never more than 12 hours. Though it was mostly because I thought I was doing the 8 o'clock feed when I was doing the 5 a.m. feed, and I normally kick them out at the 8 o'clock feed. Right, Jen's getting a bit extra, so I can make up the nibble. Oh dear. What we got? I think, Lola, if you give something like a fox or a dog a chance, I think it would. Because my dogs happily eat any poop of any kind. Yes, you're disgusting. Dogs are gross. Obi's vile. Hey, puppies. Hey, puppies. To remove a tick from Obi today. It was right there, right between his eyes. Pigs. Oh, yeah, pigs will eat anything. Thanks, Lola. I love them. My adorable little creatures. Is it hot? Are you kidding? I live in Scotland. I live in North East Scotland. It's cold. It's raining. It is raining. We've had 2 days of not a lot of rain, hardly anything. You know, just enough sort of sprinkle the gardens. But yeah, it's been a bit weird week. Just got to wash this out. So yes. I know. They're very excited. You've trained me. So many people are saying that at the minute. It's too hot. We need rain. Seriously, come over here. You'll get fed up with the rain quite quickly. It's quite weird actually, because we don't tend to get like severe torrential rain. I mean, we can, but we've not had much of that at all here. I was expecting more. Jen, I am not letting you into the box. It's got the dried milk in it. Oh, 100 Fahrenheit, that is awful. I can't do hot weather at all. Most of my relatives live in Australia. I've been there. I hate it. Whoops. Watch out. We could move to Australia. Oh, Obi's an idiot. Obi wouldn't have noticed. Yeah, you have to here. I mean, Tribble went missing one time, and when we first moved in, oh sorry, Maribel. When we first moved in, Tribble went off for a wander into the forest, which I knew he would, and came back about 4 days later, and he had. Well, I had to take him to the vets to have the ticks removed. There were that many of them, put it that way, and I can do it myself. I don't like ticks. I hate them. Around here this week, I think it's been probably about 50 Fahrenheit. Yogurt time. All I do, no needle, put it in there, push it, mix it up, that's it. And then, because that hasn't gone anywhere near the milk, which is right down here, I'll do that. Spray for ticks. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, we do get them up here. The forest is a lot. Jen, absolutely. Around about 50, 60. I can even go up to about 70. Anything over that and I hate it. Soup weather. ticks, money for those business. You know, this is probably going to sound really controversial right now. I don't know if you Americans are ridiculous about Hopeful Homesteader Tribble, my long-haired one who just saw earlier on the video, tick magnet. I don't know what you guys are like about asbestos over there, but my partner's dad is actually the world's leading expert on asbestos, and he keeps pointing out that actually it's not as bad as people think. If you're going to be drilling to it, and you're going to be sitting there as you're drilling in going, sucking, you know, the bits in, you're going to cause yourself a problem. But you're going to do that if you're drilling into just normal masonry. So, yeah, that's interesting. But asbestos is nowhere near as dangerous as people make out. And there's actually a place, I believe it's in Canada, called Asbestos. And is it Canada? Could have got the country completely wrong that it's in. Anyway, it's a place called Asbestos, and people actually, it's where it all comes from. It's natural in the ground, and people actually build their houses out of these. You know, they build into caves of asbestos, and you know they drill it out, they explode it out, they dig it out, everything you can imagine. They have no more cases per person in that town of asbestosis, which is the problem with your lungs caused by it, than we have in the UK. Who's just made that noise? That was weird. Anyway, yeah, so asbestos, not as bad as people make out. Why was I bringing that up? Oh yeah, money. That's why people say to me, well, how come they've got all these companies that will come and remove it for you? And it's quite simple. It's money. It's they lobbied Parliament. I think it's one of the dogs. They lobbied Parliament, the companies did, and have made a lot of money out of it. And unfortunately, as in most of the world, what makes Parliament go round is money. And what makes legislation happen is money. Because if that wasn't the case, then you guys in America would have the same water system that we have here, which is a national water system. Everybody has a legal right to water and to clean water, to fresh water and all of that. We have a well that we get our water from. So I don't pay water rates. But up here, if I didn't have my well, or if I wanted to, I could go on the mains. And I'd have to pay, I don't know, £10 a month? Oh, bye, Hopeful Homesteader. Yeah. My dogs are the same. Luckily, I can open the door and just let them out. Yeah, so, you know, if I wanted to go on the mains, I'd have to cost me about, I don't know, £10 a month. Wouldn't you guys pay £10 a month for fresh, clean water? It's absolutely awful because some of your rules are ridiculous. I was watching one homestead, I can't remember the channel, not been watching them for long, and they're building a house, they want it to be off grid, but by law they have to have electricity, mains power electricity to their property by law, so they've had to pay for it. How stupid is that? If you want to live off grid and things go wrong, it's your own stupid fault for not doing it properly, or living somewhere where your options that you've used, what you've used is not suitable. So like up here, solar power, no good at all up here, though I have seen houses with it, it's ridiculous. Whereas wind farms, perfect up here. So that's why up here there are loads of wind farms, and my next neighbour has a wind turbine. Yeah, they'll condemn his house. I mean, the guys had child services called, well, I don't know, child services are involved. I don't know if they've just watched his videos and, you know, some of the department's gone, I don't like that, or if somebody reported him, I don't know. But that was interesting to watch. But again, that's another very bad thing. Very bad way of dealing with it. they actually went out to and questioned his son at school. They said that no teacher or anything can be present, and they questioned his son, videoed it and all of that, and wouldn't show him the video, and claimed that his son made allegations of neglect. Wouldn't show him the video, and then when he managed to get hold of a transcript, half of it was missing. Funny enough, they haven't gone there. They haven't done anything about it. So, yeah, that's really interesting to me to watch, because I actually used to work in family law. So I used to deal with child cases somewhere in America, Rach. Can't for the life of me remember the name of his channel. If I remember it, I'll stick it in a comment. Brain. It's just, yeah, definitely move to Scotland or Ireland. Don't move to England. It's about to put itself in a really stupid position. They've actually just done a mandate thing to vote for independence again for Scotland, to get it independent away from England and Wales, and I couldn't be happier. Even though my parents and my family and friends are all in England, I would rather live in Scotland and be independent. So I've got a lot of family in Ireland still. Quite common. Oh, Irish got everywhere. It's because, you know, they breed like rabbits. That we used to. Well, no, mine did. My family did. Before our generation, anyway. My mum was one of 7. My dad was, I think, one of 6 or 7, who was then adopted into a family of 5. All children, I mean, not the size of the family. The Irish did build the world. Hidden Within Myself, what's the name? Surname? Absolutely, I was on Lorella Not a Farm Girl, a homestead adventure. I was on her live earlier. I couldn't stay. We just kept buffering. It was awful. And they were talking about her daughter's just been to the Empire State Building, and one of my relatives or ancestors a while ago now was one of those people who were building the Empire State Building right at the top. You know, you've got the photos of all these guys just sitting on these girders that are overhanging the city, and they're just sat there like hundreds of feet in the air. Yeah, my cousin Jack Lynch was one that fell off and died, but apparently it's quite common. he was not alone in doing that. A lot of them did. You're right, you two. I suppose I could feed you a little bit early. It's only a few minutes early. Heat. Oh, I have to rinse these off. I don't think anybody would like the flavour of sterilising fluid. Dean. Is Dean an Irish name? You're right there, Lola. It doesn't make sense. If you're off grid, great. I'd love to be. And Mullen. It's not another one. Mullen. That's Irish. My old geography teacher was Mullen. Nash. That's quite common in Ireland. You know, one of my cousins. She actually lives in. She works for MIT, so she lives in Boston, Massachusetts. Or did. I haven't seen her for 20-something years. And she was an O'Sullivan, and she married. She always said all of her life, I'm always going to be an O'Sullivan. She sort of did. She was an O'Sullivan, and she married a man whose surname was Sullivan. All she did was drop the O. It's quite weird. But yeah, she always knew She's always keep that name. So, and I think I always said I would always keep my name. Ash's surname's different to mine. Are you ready? Right, Jen. Right, come here, Pip. I've not found a good way to feed these and let you guys see it. Malone. Okay, that's weird. You see, I'm technically a Lynch, which is Irish, or an O'Brien. Woods, Irish, this one lighter hair. Yeah. This is my Irish hair. You know what? That high road and low road thing is, it's true. It's actually true. When you drive from England to Scotland, you will literally go on either the high road or the low road. When one of them finishes, I'll show you the video. Show you the other one, whoever it is, finishing. Oh dear. Sorry, they're quite big these days. Oh no, my battery's dying. Right. I am unfortunately going to have to stop the live because my battery is dying. Right, you can wait a minute then. So let's do a quick little Pip update. Pippy picture and a Jen picture. You done, girls? Right, say bye-bye everybody. Good night everybody. Thank you so much for coming. And Pip will keep smiling and see you tomorrow. Bye. Say bye everyone.